Welcome back to Nature Moment. Do you know of a place on Earth where half of the African elephants roam freely, where African wild dogs make up a quarter of the global population, and where rare lions are protected like national treasures? Not in a fairy tale, not in a sci-fi documentary, but completely real, right in the heart of Africa. That place is Okavango Zambezi, the largest transboundary conservation area in the world, home to 227,900 elephants living and roaming in the wild, where more than 1,500 African wild dogs still exist, and approximately 4,000 to 5,000 lions are being protected more rigorously than ever before. Kaza is not just a piece of land. It is a symbol of the historic cooperation among 5 countries, together creating an unbounded ecological corridor that connects more than 35 nature reserves, where nature can live, breathe, and rejuvenate as it once did. Yes, I'm ready. Please provide the Vietnamese content you'd like me to translate. Take a deep breath, because what you are about to witness will be unforgettable. Before the journey begins, please leave a comment to let us know where you are following from. And now, we invite you to step into the magnificent wilderness of Kaza, a place where nature still roars, hisses, and where the silent footsteps of life can be felt. 5 nations, 1 battlefield for survival. In the heart of the Kavango Zambezi region, during an unusually long dry season, dust clung to every low-hanging branch. A black rhinoceros moves cautiously along the faint traces of a herd of wild. Both species are searching for the most essential element for survival. What? Not far away, a pack of exhausted African wild dogs was trudging across the scorched grasslands. A place that just a few years ago was a lush green migration corridor. The movements became slow and weary from the harshness. Climate change is reshaping the natural rhythms of Kaza. Rainfall has decreased by 15 to 20% over the past decade. The average temperature has increased by 1.5 degrees Celsius, disrupting breeding cycles, migration patterns, and food sources. The Kaza ecosystem is currently under tremendous pressure. Species that have existed for millions of years of evolution are now facing the threat of a powerful new danger. Climate change caused by humans. However, amidst these fluctuations, Kaza remains a final stronghold, preserving biodiversity by allowing nature to breathe. Okavango Zambezi, or Kaza for short, is a transboundary conservation area that spans 5 countries: Angola, Botswana, Namibia, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. Nestled between 2 major river basins, the Kavango and Zambezi. This region is often described as the ecological heart of the continent. What do you think is the biggest challenge when 5 countries come together to manage a vast landscape? Is it nature, culture, people, or politics? Let's explore together. The slow movement of the Earth's crust combined with the sediment layers formed by ancient rivers, has created a rich geological foundation for this area. The Okavango Delta, an inland natural wonder of the world, was formed when the Kavango River flows into Botswana and is blocked by a low-lying area. There is no outlet to the sea. The river spreads out across the land, nurturing a unique wetland ecosystem where water remains abundant for most of the year, peaking during the dry months from June to August. This very paradox, when floodwaters arrive during the dry season, has created a rare and thriving explosion of life in this land. In the Kaza region, the climate is primarily tropical, with two distinct seasons. The rainy season lasts from November to April, and the dry season lasts from May to October. The average annual rainfall ranges from 500 millimeters in semi-arid regions to over 1,000 millimeters in wetter areas, such as northeastern Namibia and the regions surrounding the Zambezi River. This transformation plays a crucial role in nurturing multi-layered ecosystems, allowing Kaza to preserve the vibrant richness of one of the most biodiverse regions on Earth. According to the latest statistics from 2024, this area is home to more than 197 species of mammals, over 600 recorded bird species, 128 species of reptiles, 50 species of amphibians, and more than 3,000 plant species, of which approximately 100 species are not found anywhere else in the world. In the vast and biologically rich landscape of Kaza, source ecosystems are regarded as the first crucial link in the chain of existence. They serve as a lifeline that nurtures the entire cross-border ecosystem. What makes the ecosystems unique is the abundant water supply, food, and shelter for many species of wildlife. Thanks to the presence of water, whether year-round or seasonal, these areas support a rich biomass including grasses, fish, birds, and many species of aquatic animals, forming the foundation of a stable food chain. Among them, the two most prominent examples are the Okavango Delta in Botswana and the Zambezi wetlands in Zambia. Water from the highlands of Angola flows southward and then comes to a sudden halt at the center of Botswana, where the low-lying terrain retains the entire flow, forming the Okavango Delta, the largest inland delta in the world. With no outlet to the sea, these streams spread like a lifeline through the Kalahari Desert, bringing hope for vibrant life in this harsh environment. When we study the rich biodiversity of Kaza, we not only see the wild animals but also feel the wondrous power of nature. The story of this land is a testament to the rise and diversity of living organisms, where life thrives even in the harshest conditions, continually urging us to protect and preserve the preciousness of nature for future generations. Creating one of the most unique and vibrant wetland ecosystems in Africa, the Okavango Delta has become a symbol of life in the dryness of the dry season from June to August each year. When the waters flow down from the source, a magnificent scene will unfold here. At a time when much of southern Africa is engulfed in drought, The Okavango Delta is thriving with peak flood season. This is truly a paradox of nature, but at the same time, it is the key to the rich. More than 1,300 plant species, over 480 bird species, and 122 mammal species coexist peacefully in this land. Like a green heart beating in the desert, the Okavango Delta pulses with energy, nutrients, and life as if the hand of God has touched the barren land, breathing life into it. When the waters from the Angola highlands rush into the Okavango Delta, they not only carry the flow but also awaken a marvelous creature. Despite massive size, weighing up to 1,500 kilograms, the hippopotamus is surprisingly agile in the water. Instead of gliding like fish, they move by walking or running along the river, using their short legs and round body shape as if they were designed for life underwater. Beneath the calm surface of the water, they can hold their breath for up to 5 minutes, even sleeping without being disturbed when their instincts urge them to surface for air. Interestingly, our closest relatives are not land animals, but rather whales and dolphins. This is a vivid testament to the evolutionary path that diverged from a common ancestor tens of millions of years ago. The name hippopotamus comes from ancient Greek, meaning river horse, a poetic image that reflects the dominance of this creature in the waters. In the Okavango Delta, where floodwaters rise from June to August, hippos live in small groups. Most of the time, they stay submerged to maintain a stable body temperature, only emerging at night to graze on grass. Each individual can consume about 40 kilograms of vegetation each night, primarily soft grasses that grow along the shore. Especially, the hippopotamus has an impressive defense system with tusks that can be up to 50 centimeters long, capable of crushing a wooden boat or the jaw of a crocodile if they feel threatened. Although their diet is entirely plant-based, hippos are considered one of the most powerful animals in Africa due to their strong territorial instincts and fierce reactions when provoked. Land, they can even walk at a very fast pace, creating an impressive contrast with their heavy appearance. Running at speeds of up to 30 kilometers per hour, a hippopotamus can easily outpace. Another notable feature is the ability to secrete a type of reddish-orange mucus, which was previously mistaken for blood sweat. In fact, this is a natural biochemical mixture similar to sunscreen, which helps protect their skin from the harmful effects of sunlight and maintains necessary moisture while also repelling insects. Thanks to this natural protective layer, hippos can survive under the harsh sunlight of semi-arid regions like Botswana, where daytime temperatures often exceed 95 degrees Fahrenheit during the dry season. In the Okavango Delta, each step of the hippopotamus carves out pathways in the water, helping to maintain the flow and prevent congestion caused by excessive growth of underwater vegetation. These channels and streams are not only vital pathways for fish, aquatic insects, and dozens of species of waterfowl, but they also provide a habitat for them. Furthermore, the waste they release into the water plays a crucial role in redistributing nutrients, creating an incredibly important cycle that sustains life and health for the entire Kaza wetland ecosystem. Nature is not just a spectacle to behold. It is a vibrant part of humanity's memory, a place where we learn to share, adapt, and respect life in all its forms. Every time you open your heart to the wild world, you contribute to preserving it for future generations. At Nature Moment, we believe that every moment you experience this beauty deserves to be shared. If today's journey impressed you, please leave the number 6 in the comments as a sign that you are ready to dive deeper into the wonderful world of nature. Amidst the winding rhythms of the Okavango Delta, a large and striking bird of Africa emerged, the southern ground hornbill. Instead of soaring through the sky like many of its winged neighbors, it decided to walk slowly on the ground, leaving distinct black footprints on the damp earth as it moved with grace. The southern ground vulture makes a strong impression with its enormous size. Its height can reach up to 4 feet 3 inches, and its wingspan exceeds 5 feet 11 inches. Its plumage is a smooth, velvety black, with bright yellow eyes and a vibrant red throat pouch, creating a bold splash of color against the backdrop of the savanna. The male birds have completely red throat pouches, while the females have a blue-purple mark on their necks. This is a natural sign that helps distinguish them even from a distance. Vultures live in small family groups, usually consisting of a breeding pair and several other individuals that help care for the young. Each group can dominate a territory of up to 100 kilometers, a truly vast distance for a bird that primarily hunts by walking. The southern ground vulture is a carnivorous species that primarily hunts large insects, small reptiles, amphibians, and its main weapon is its long, powerful beak, which serves as a tool for stabbing, flipping, and cutting its prey. Their hunts never take place alone. In stark contrast to the quiet steps of the ground dove, the resounding call of the African fish eagle breaks the silence of the African sky, rising from the towering treetops along the water's edge. In many African cultures, this bird is seen as a symbol of strength, freedom, and a connection to the spiritual world. Zambia, Zimbabwe, and South Sudan have chosen the African fish eagle as their national symbol, honoring its resilient spirit and unwavering strength in the face of challenges. This bird species mates for life. Once they have paired up, they build their nest near the water's edge, where fish are always abundant. Their nests can be up to 2 meters wide and 1.2 meters deep, often reused for many years and gradually expanded over time, much like a family home passed down through generations. The breeding season typically begins when water levels drop during the dry months from June to October, a time when fish gather in the remaining pools and are easier to catch. The hunting technique of the African fish eagle is a delicate combination of precision with keen eyesight and lightning-fast dives. They often perch quietly on a high branch near the water's edge, their sharp eyes intently watching every glimmer and tiny ripple below the surface. When it spots its prey, usually a fish weighing between 100 grams and 1.5 kilograms, it dives down with its claws extended, piercing the surface of the water in an instant. Each foot is small, horn-like spikes that help grip slippery fish easily. It has showcased an incredible style on more than one occasion. These images not only leave a lasting impression on the mind of a wildlife researcher, but also touch the hearts of those who love nature. Imagine, for a moment, you are standing by the shore of a lake with your friends, admiring this magnificent scene. Are you brave enough to explore the savanna forests with the ground dove or soar with the osprey, experiencing the joys and challenges that nature has to offer? It was a journey that cannot be described in words, yet it holds invaluable lessons about life and death in the wild, where every creature struggles to survive and protect itself. In the world of wildlife, survival is not merely a struggle for food, but a sophisticated game of strategy. For example, the African fish eagle. This predatory bird does not hesitate to steal food from other species such as the great cormorant or the Goliath heron, a behavior that has become characteristic within the community of rabbits. Unlike long-distance migratory species, the bald eagle changes its habitat over distances, ranging from several dozen to several hundred kilometers, flexibly adapting to changing hydrological conditions. In the Okavango Delta, where flooding occurs year-round and peaks during the dry season, the population of African fish eagles remains stable and thrives. According to the latest data from BirdLife International, in 2024, the estimated number of adult individuals reaches approximately 300,000 across the entire sub-Saharan region, with the Kaza region having the highest density due to its relatively well-protected wetland ecosystem. Every year, when the water level of the Zambezi River begins to rise, it brings floodwaters into western Zambia, creating the Barotse floodplain, one of the largest seasonal wetland areas in southern Africa. When the flood reaches its peak, the flooded area can expand to over 10,000 square kilometers, turning the plain into a shimmering mirror of water. This is one of the prominent source ecosystems of Kaza, where water plays a crucial role in sustaining life, providing a dynamic biological chain that is constantly renewed with the changing seasons. From December to June, when the water level reaches its peak, the Barotse Plain becomes an ideal breeding ground for fish and aquatic organisms. As the water recedes, the nutrient-rich layer of mud left on the parched grasslands creates excellent conditions for tens of thousands of grazing animals to return. The bird life here is incredibly diverse, with more than 300 species recorded, making birdwatching an ideal activity. Every year, more than 30,000 blue wildebeests migrate through the area, forming the second largest migration of antelope in Africa. The Barotse Plain is not merely a seasonal wetland. It is also a place that embodies all the ideal characteristics of a source ecosystem. This area has turned into a green feast for herbivores, with thick and soft grass growing abundantly, while the mineral-rich mud left in the soil provides exceptional nutritional value. This biological condition attracts herds of blue wildebeests to return year after year to breed and nurture the next generation. An adult blue wildebeest can weigh up to 600 pounds, measure nearly 8 feet long, and stand up to 4.5 feet tall at the shoulder, with grayish-black fur and a light blue sheen that glimmers like morning dew across the grasslands. Both males and females possess outward curving horns, which are not only a part of their wild beauty, but also important tools for their survival battles. Observing the interactions between species, along with the delicacy of this ecosystem, truly compels us to reflect on the value of existence in nature. This is not just a collection of specific numbers or simple geography. It is a symphony of life, worthy of our celebration and protection. In the wild, each day is a silent battle between existence and surrender. The blue wildebeests primarily eat short grass. An average individual can consume between 4 and 6 kilograms of grass. But instead of depleting resources, their grazing behavior actually helps plants grow more evenly. By nibbling on delicate young grass shoots, they prevent the excessive growth of certain plant species while allowing sunlight and water to permeate the soil, creating an ideal foundation for the regeneration of new growth. In this way, this species plays a crucial role in maintaining the vital cycle of the entire ecosystem. As the rivers begin to overflow and the floodplains reflect the sky of Zambia, herds of lechwe antelope start to move toward higher ground, where fresh grass has just sprouted from the damp earth. There is no strong pushing, no loud noises, but their migration is no less. This is a quiet, purposeful journey that weaves the thread of life through the rising rhythm of the flood cycle. The survival instinct of the lechwe antelope is closely linked to the environment in which it lives. Muddy fields, shallow swamps, and waterlogged grasslands. Their bodies are perfectly adapted to this terrain. Standing about 3 feet tall and weighing between 155 and 265 pounds, they possess a graceful yet sturdy physique. The male has a long, curved cornea that can reach up to 92 centimeters, symbolizing dominance and responsibility during the mating season. The key to the survival of this species lies in their graceful legs, long and flat like small boards that help distribute their weight on soft, muddy grass. When wading through water up to their knees, the oily fur on their lower legs helps keep them dry, allowing them to move quickly when necessary or when the terrain changes. For predators like lions or African wild dogs, flood-prone areas are truly a challenge. But with the silent eyes watching from beneath the surface of the water, the story is completely different. The Nile crocodile, an ancient figure, lies hidden beneath layers of mud and vegetation, remaining silent and powerful. This is the largest reptile in Africa and one of the most formidable top predators. Whenever the water recedes, herds of antelope, zebras, and wildebeests flood into the flooded plains in search of fresh grass. That is the time when the Nile crocodile enters its most intense hunting season of the year. Although they cannot see its movement from afar, the prey remains unaware that death is lurking just beneath every... A war is not just a matter of life and death. It is also a story about survival and constant adaptation, creating the unique cycle of measuring between 3 and 5 meters long and weighing up to 750 kilograms. The body of the Nile crocodile resembles a biological tank, perfectly designed for patience, stealth, and sudden bursts of power. Lying motionless beneath the surface of the water, with only its eyes and nostrils protruding, it intently observed every step of the approaching prey. With skin ranging from olive green to dull brown, it blends perfectly with the muddy backdrop of the Barotse wetlands. As the distance closed to just a few meters, the crocodile lunged forward with incredible strength. Its bite, measured at 3,447 newtons per square centimeter, is 8 times stronger than that of a great white shark, ending any struggle quickly and decisively. For Nile crocodiles, ambushes like that do not happen every day. After each big party, the digestion process slowly begins. Inside its stomach, where acid can dissolve bones, the prey will be almost completely broken down, leaving only a few traces of the hunt it just participated in. In the flooded Barotse region, every step toward the water's edge is In this seemingly tranquil setting, the boundary between life and death is defined by a snap and the beating of a heart. Corridor ecosystems are essential connections between breeding areas, living spaces, and shelters, serving as lifelines that transport energy, nutrients, and life across landscapes and... In this network, the Caprivi Strip in northeastern Namibia serves as a central hub, where 4 major rivers, Zambezi, Kwando, Linanti, and Chobe. With the wetter conditions, the wetlands and waterways allow water-dependent species to move through the low-lying areas. Meanwhile, the Kwando-Linyanti corridor stretches through arid regions, connecting the Kalahari forests with the Okavango plains, creating seasonal pathways for species adapted to the semi-arid environment. On the sun-drenched savanna fields and the dry forests of the desert, the powerful silhouette of the African forest elephant moves with remarkable grace. Their image has become the central symbol in the official logo of the Kaza Transboundary Conservation Area. a powerful symbol holding the heart of Okavango Zambezi, connecting across borders for life. With the ability to travel hundreds of miles each year through corridor ecosystems, African forest elephants rely on these ecological pathways to connect their breeding areas, habitats, and However, this journey is no longer as easy as it once was. The interaction between species and their habitats requires us to be more aware of the importance of conserving ecological corridors. We need to come together to protect these precious corridors, as they not only sustain the lives of wildlife but also serve as a legacy for our future generations. Take action today to protect these wondrous lands. The weather is becoming increasingly unpredictable, and familiar water sources are no longer as abundant as they used to be. Nevertheless, the African elephant herds remain steadfast in following the ancient trails, the invisible paths that connect ecosystems throughout the Kaza region. Thanks to the deep memory reserves passed down through many generations. The African elephant, standing up to 4 meters tall and weighing as much as 10 tons, is the largest land animal on Earth. But behind that massive structure is a complex nervous system that allows them to communicate through basic sounds. This low-frequency sound can travel up to 5 kilometers through the ground, allowing herds of elephants to communicate with each other, warn about threats, or search for potential mates. Their wonderful memory reserves function like a living map, guiding them through years of drought, wildfires, changing rivers, and even conflict, helping them navigate a transforming world with perfect resilience. The matriarchal social structure of this species plays a crucial role in helping them adapt to environmental changes. Herds of elephants, typically consisting of females and their young, are led by the oldest female, an individual who holds the most memory reserves of safe pathways and seasonal water sources. When the adult males mature, they leave the herd, living alone or forming small groups, sometimes moving along with the females in search of mating opportunities. The survival of African elephants comes not only from their well-adapted bodies with cooling ears, dexterous trunks, and powerful tusks, but also from their flexibility and biological strategies. During the dry months, they use their tusks to dig for groundwater, break trees, and pull down branches, often inadvertently creating resources for other species. Their droppings disperse seeds, and their movement creates pathways through the dense forests. From an ecological perspective, they are the architects of the ecosystem in the arid regions of Africa, shaping the landscape for countless forms of life. As of 2024, the Kaza region is home to approximately 227,000 African elephants, accounting for 50% of the remaining global population of this species. However, their distribution is changing significantly. African elephants are increasingly concentrated in strictly protected areas, such as Chobe National Park. Meanwhile, their numbers are declining in areas where legal hunting is permitted or in border regions that are under significant population pressure. Amid the dry forests and vast grasslands stretching across Angola, Namibia, And Botswana, the Angola giraffe stands tall, a vibrant symbol of endurance and resilience in nature. The backbone of the ecosystem, giraffes are a symbol of the wild beauty of Africa. According to information from the Giraffe Conservation Foundation, more than 10% of the total giraffe population on this continent lives in the Kaza region, which includes 2 different subspecies. Nearly 40 years after disappearing from southern Angola, the return of this species, thanks to reintroduction programs from Namibia, is not only a conservation milestone but also a miracle of nature. Each Angolan giraffe has a unique pattern on its coat, similar to a human fingerprint, allowing researchers to identify individuals in population surveys. Reaching a height of up to 18 feet, with long legs extending to 6 feet, giraffes are the tallest land animals on Earth. They typically live in open forests, dry savannas, and the edges of wetlands. Notably, giraffes do not travel along long routes like antelopes do. Instead, they move in small ecological loops, depending on the availability of food and water. During the dry season, when grass in low-lying areas becomes scarce, the ability to reach high canopies gives giraffes a distinct advantage. The relationship between giraffes and African elephants in corridor ecosystems is not merely about sharing space. It is a very subtle and indirect form of mutual support. When the free elephants break large canopies and snap branches to reach the treetops, they create openings that welcome sunlight into the forest, encouraging the growth of shrubs and young shoots in the understory. Interestingly, this is the ideal height for giraffes to feed, especially during the season after the rains, when the acacia trees begin to regenerate. This relationship is a vivid example of ecological balance, a system in which nature self-regulates without the need for human intervention. Angolan giraffes mate year-round, although the birth rate typically peaks at the end of the rainy season. After a pregnancy lasting about 15 months, the newborn calf will fall from a height of over 5 feet, a necessary drop to activate its lungs and awaken its respiratory system. Unlike most hoofed animals, giraffes do not sleep deeply. They only rest for short periods, usually no more than 30 minutes each day, because prolonged sleep would make them easy targets for predators. However, with their heightened sensitivity and broad perspective from an impressive height, giraffes can detect danger from afar. Typically, they move at a leisurely pace, but when necessary, giraffes can accelerate up to 37 miles per hour in short bursts. A kick from a giraffe can have enough power to leave an enemy stunned and disheartened. That is a clear example of their strength and adaptability in nature, as well as how each giraffe contributes to the vibrancy of the ecosystem. The hind legs of a giraffe are one of the most powerful defensive weapons in the world of herbivores, strong enough to seriously injure a lion. If you find moments like these fascinating, don't forget to like. There are still many wonderful things waiting for you ahead. In the arid regions of the Kwando and Kwadum National Park corridors, African wild dogs continue to thrive, demonstrating an astonishing reality. The Kaza region is estimated to play a significant role, supporting about 25% of the total population of wild dogs in Africa worldwide. They live in groups of 5 to 20 individuals, led by a superior breeding pair, the alpha male and the alpha female. Unlike many animal species that live in social structures where males often dominate in terms of migration, in wild dogs, it is the females that leave the pack where they were born upon reaching maturity. This not only helps prevent inbreeding, but also promotes genetic diversity within populations. The hunting behavior of African wild dogs is considered one of the most effective strategies in nature, with a success rate of up to 80%, which is significantly higher than that of lions, which only achieve a success rate of about 25 to 30%, according to data from the African Predator Research Initiative in 2024. They often hunt in the early morning or late afternoon, when the temperature is cool and the low light makes it easier to spot prey. Our main targets are medium-sized antelope species such as the Impala red leopard. A distinctive anatomical feature of African wild dogs is that they have only 4 toes on each foot, instead of 5 like other dog species, an optimal adaptation for speed and endurance. They can reach speeds of up to 70 miles per hour and hunt with incredible coordination, forming a crescent shape to scatter schools of prey, then concentrating their efforts on a weaker or isolated individual. A single bite to the hind leg is often enough to stop the unfortunate prey. In just a few brief seconds, the pack of dogs surrounded it, tearing it apart piece by piece while skillfully avoiding collisions with one another. Without the roar of triumph, the African wild dogs eat quickly, quietly, and fairly. Each member of the pack, including the young ones and those that are injured, is given a share of the food. This is not just a hunt. It is the most distinct manifestation of discipline, speed, and unity qualities that make the African wild dog the most successful predator on the African savanna. In a harsh environment where endless arid fields stretch out and desolate forests whisper in the hot winds of the southern Kavango Zambezi region, this is where a large intelligent creature asserts its presence. Every day, on the wild fields of Africa, the impressive sight of the Chakma baboon emerges, the largest baboon species on the continent. With a face resembling that of a dog, a long snout, deep-set eyes, and sharp canine teeth that can grow up to 5 centimeters long, the Chakma baboon exudes an air of authority and those sharp teeth are not only a means of self-defense, but also a symbol of power within their social system. Their bodies are covered with a layer of dark gray fur, while the baby monkeys stand out with their jet black fur and bright red faces, creating a striking contrast that is easily recognizable and instinctively protected by the entire group. The Chakma baboon is widely distributed throughout southern Africa, from Namibia and Botswana to Mozambique and South Africa. They are a prime example of remarkable ecological adaptation, thriving in a variety of landscapes such as dry grasslands, open forests, rocky slopes, and even coastal desert areas. As long as there is a freshwater source nearby in Kaza, they make full use of the connections from the Wando and Kayom-Gaman corridors, moving between different areas daily or seasonally, depending on the changes in food availability and temperature. The diet of this species reflects a highly adaptive instinct. They are omnivores, with a diverse diet that includes fruits, seeds, tubers, insects, and even small animals like eggs or During the dry season, baboons do not hesitate to dig in the ground to find tubers and roots, which provide essential energy and moisture. In addition to serving personal needs, this action also improves soil fertility, enhances water absorption, and stimulates the growth of surrounding plants through the consumption and dispersal of seeds. They also play a crucial role in forest restoration, especially in areas transitioning between savanna and open forest. The roar of the lion echoes throughout northeastern Namibia, a symphony of the African wilderness where wildlife thrives. The lion, a powerful symbol of strength and authority in the animal kingdom, continues to roam the Capri Strip, one of the last areas in southern Africa where lions maintain a stable population and significant density. An adult lion can weigh up to 250 kilograms and measure up to 8 feet in length. But what makes them captivating is not just their size, but also their unique social structure. Unlike solitary relatives like leopards, lions live in groups called prides, typically consisting of 5 to 20 individuals. In the group, the females with close relationships will take primary responsibility for hunting, while the males focusing on protecting their territory and offspring. The thick fur of the male lion is not just a symbol of male strength. It also serves as a shield in fierce battles for dominance. The hunting strategy of lions in the Capri region is a combination of group ambush tactics and skillful use of the terrain. The lionesses often spread out among the tall grass fields or dense bushes, waiting for herds of animals such as antelopes, zebras, wildebeests, or African buffalo to pass by. When the time was right, the group charged from multiple directions, cutting off the herd's escape route and targeting the weakest individuals in the group. The success rate of lions in hunting may not be as high as that of African wild dogs, but lions make up for this by taking down larger prey and sharing their meals, thanks to a strong social structure based on unity. The lion's entirely meat-based diet requires a large amount of food. An adult male lion can consume up to 88 pounds of meat in a single. Their tongues are covered with sharp, hook-like spines, allowing them to pull every last bit of flesh off the bones. Although lions can live daily without drinking water, they primarily rely on the moisture from their prey to maintain their health. Every meal is not just a source of energy, but also a vital lifeline. In the context of Capri, lions rarely migrate far. Instead, they typically move seasonally to be closer to herds of antelope, buffalo, or African elephants. In addition, their roaring can be heard up to 8 kilometers away. Lions are the only members of the cat family known for their ability to roar in harmony, creating a powerful territorial symphony as night falls. The roar echoes through the darkness of the night, not only as a declaration from the lions, but also as a call from the depths of the wild. In your opinion, what makes the lion worthy of being the king of the savannah? Comment right below to join nature moment in discovering the answers, because this journey still holds countless surprises for you. The entire herd participates in this symphony, from the dominant males to the tiny lion cubs, creating a communal signal that not only asserts territorial ownership, but also reinforces social bonds across a vast. Remember that strength and adaptability do not prevent lions from facing the risk of extinction. While they are apex predators, they are currently being pushed to the brink by habitat loss, conflicts with livestock farming, retaliatory killings, and illegal trafficking. The International Union for Conservation of Nature currently classifies lions as a vulnerable species, with estimates indicating that they have lost more than 40% of their wild population in just the past 3 decades. In Caprivi, where the lives of humans and wildlife intertwine at every edge of the forest and riverbank, a significant challenge is how to maintain harmony between the two worlds. Each element in the ecosystem plays a vital role, and the survival of the lion symbolizes the vitality of the ability for different species of wildlife to coexist is increasingly becoming a profound and persistent challenge. On the damp red soil of the Caprivi Strip, herds of zebras tirelessly move through the bright green fields under the sunlight, shimmering in the thin dust stirred up by the early dry season breeze. The distinctive black and white stripes of them appear in patterns that are completely irregular. Each step takes them deeper into the heart of the corridor ecosystems, where geographical boundaries are merely temporary and life is a strong, unbreakable thread that connects everything. The plains zebra is one of the most adaptable grazing species in the Saharan region. They stand out for their ability to move flexibly between seasonal habitats in the Caprivi Strip, frequently migrating between the riverbank plains during the dry season and the inland grasslands during the rainy season, using corridors such as the Quando Corridor and the Kavango Corridor to navigate. Although they sometimes move alongside the blue giraffes, zebras are not closely tied to long-term migration cycles. Instead, they often have a semi-nomadic lifestyle, quickly responding to changes in local grass and water availability. Thanks to their non-selective digestive system, zebras can eat a wide variety of grasses, even tougher stems and leaves during the dry season, allowing the herd to maintain energy levels even when food becomes scarce. In the Caprivi region, where the landscape remains relatively connected and less fragmented, the plains zebra continues to play an important role both ecologically and economically. They are one of the most beloved species among tourists on safari trips and contribute significantly to community-based ecotourism programs. A method is being implemented in buffer zones such as the Caprivi Reserves in the southwestern corner of Okavango, Zambia. Hyenas National Park is considered the last stronghold of many large animal species. The meaningful presence of the black rhinoceros reminds us of a resilient journey of survival, where each footprint imprinted on the cracked earth is the result of tireless conservation efforts and the strength to stand firm against extinction. Although it is called the black rhinoceros, this species is actually a dark grey that blends perfectly with the barren earth tones of the dry season. Compared to the white rhinoceros, they are smaller, with an average weight of an adult male around 1,350 kilograms and an adult female around 900 kilograms. Their upper lips are long and prehensile, serving as a biological tool that allows them to eat leaves, branches, and tree bark. In this urgent conservation context, the road ahead will be long, but the courage and adaptability of species like zebras and black rhinos offer hope for the future of these ecosystems. Please continue to contribute to the preservation and protection of these wild treasures. From the lush bushes, the black rhinoceros emerges as a symbol of the mysterious wilderness. What is particularly impressive about this species of rhinoceros is that they are not just monotonous herbivores, but truly masters of navigating through the canopies. Range National Park, with its sparse woodlands and bushy areas, has become an ideal habitat for the black rhinoceros, as long as there is plenty of water and poachers stay away. Under the blazing sun of September, the artificial puddles in the park have become meeting spots for various wildlife populations. Not only does mud bathing help regulate body temperature, but it also creates a natural barrier against parasites. As the drought prolonged and food sources became increasingly scarce, the black rhinoceros began to move between the low grasslands and the arid forests in the north, searching for the last remaining bushes. Like the black rhinoceros, the wildebeest is also a symbol of resilience in the grasslands. Amid the harshness of the dry season, with water running low and the vegetation withering, the antelope still stands strong amidst the barren grasslands. In Range National Park, this species of antelope frequently visits areas with dense bushes and tall grass, where there is an abundant water supply. Although they do not migrate over long distances, they still move widely within their territory in search of food and water. Their diet mainly consists of grass, but when necessary, they do not hesitate to eat leaves. This is a flexible eating strategy that helps us maintain nutrition during times of scarcity. In the world of wildebeests, reproduction is not a race for quantity. It is a strategy deeply connected to quality. Each female typically gives birth to one offspring after a gestation period of about 9 months, usually timed at the end of the rainy season when vegetation is lush, ensuring a plentiful food supply for both mother and baby. Right after giving birth, the mother did not rush to lead her newborn back to the herd. Instead, the mother carefully hid the child in the thick bushes for the first few weeks of life. During this time, the mother continuously returned multiple times a day to nurture and protect her child, always alert to any signs of danger. This is the most vulnerable stage, when the young one is not yet strong enough to run fast or defend itself, and predators only need a slight opportunity to. in the moment when every movement seemed to be swallowed by darkness, a thin, muscular figure quietly slipped through the fields of dry grass. A journey of vitality and survival is still unfolding in this wild kingdom. In a moment filled with suspense, the African leopard was lurking, its bright yellow eyes fixed intently on a lone young antelope not far away. Almost invisible among nature, it is the embodiment of patience and deadly beauty. As a sophisticated predator, the African leopard has perfected the art of stealthy concealment. Officially regarded as the king without a crown of the African night, this leopard has the widest distribution among the big cat species on the continent. From the dense jungles in Central Africa to the arid savannas of southern Zimbabwe, they inhabit nearly every type of environment as long as there is sufficient shelter and prey. At Hang National Park, the largest conservation area in Zimbabwe with a seasonal dry ecosystem, leopards maintain a stable presence even though they are rarely seen. Estimates indicate that the average density ranges from 3.5 to 7 individuals per 100 square kilometers, depending on vegetation cover and the availability of prey. With excellent night vision, the leopard often conducts its hunts in the dark, quietly moving along narrow paths created by animals, keenly listening for changes in the wind and sounds to locate its prey. They have the ability to accelerate quickly, reaching speeds of up to 60 kilometers per hour, and their extraordinary strength allows them to take down prey that weigh. The leopard cat approached stealthily, launching a decisive attack from just a few meters away. Just one leap, one bite to the neck, and everything ends in the blink of an eye. After hunting, they often drag the prey up into the trees using their powerful jaws and strong front legs. Hiding prey among the branches is not only a way to protect it from being stolen by lions or hyenas. This also helps the leopard cat enjoy its meals without being disturbed for several days in a row. A pack of spotted hyenas followed the trail of the prey that had just been taken away. Their distinctive laughter rang out not with joy, but as a bold declaration of defiance. As the largest and most popular member of the hyena family, the spotted hyena possesses an impressive biological design. Their teeth have the ability to generate a biting force of up to 758.42 newtons per square centimeter, which is 40% stronger than that of the African leopard. They can chase their prey over a distance of up to 5 kilometers, thanks to a large heart that accounts for about 1% of their body weight, which is twice the average for large animals. This gives them excellent endurance for long chases across difficult terrain and in hot weather. Evolution has created these clever and powerful predators, and their survival journey continually draws us into the wild beauty of nature. Let's explore more about these fascinating secrets in the world of wildlife that we don't yet fully understand. The biological characteristics of the spotted hyena are shaped not only by its physical structure, but also by a complex social organization. They live in groups called clans, consisting of up to 80 individuals, led by dominant females. This is one of the few mammal species where females dominate socially, being not only larger but also stronger and better adapted than the males. Typically, when they reach reproductive age, male individuals will leave the clan, while females remain, reinforcing the hierarchical system within the clan over many generations. The sound is the language of the spotted hyena. It's not chaos, it's strategy. They have more than 12 distinct sounds, from a long whistle used to call clan members to a giggle used in moments of threat or excitement. Each sound serves a clear purpose. They do not just laugh to intimidate. These sounds help them coordinate, stay in touch, and survive in a harsh environment. In addition to their hunting abilities, spotted hyenas are also masters of the art of scavenging. They can consume decaying carcasses and thoroughly chew through teeth, horns, and bones, parts that few other species can have. The stomach, rich in acid, powerful digestive enzymes, and specially adapted gut bacteria, allows it to transform these indigestible parts into food. This biological advantage makes them essential for the ecosystem, helping to clean the environment and prevent the spread of disease. In the arid expanse of Makgadikgadi, the red hartebeest is not just an ordinary antelope. It is also a living symbol of African culture. With its lean physique and tireless stride, this creature exists in the folklore, dances and prayers of the San and Swana people, embodying strength, endurance, and the ability to overcome adversity. At the Makgadikgadi salt pans, one of the largest and harshest salt pans in the world, red hartebeests not only survive but also adapt in astonishing ways. Although the Kaza 2024 report has not provided official population figures, recent ecological surveys have recorded a stable presence of this species around the grasslands of the salt pan, particularly in the southeastern part of the reserve. Unlike many herbivorous species that depend on water, the hartebeest has the ability to regulate its water needs, surviving for long periods without direct access to surface water, as long as it can extract moisture from fresh grasses. Their habit of consuming coarse, high-fiber grass and their indiscriminate feeding allows them to thrive in environments often overlooked by many other species. Impala or springbok. Their behavior not only helps minimize competition among species, but also plays a crucial role in determining the recovery rate of the plant community after a fire. The pink antelopes, often referred to as hartebeests, are usually the first to nibble on tender grass, facilitating the growth of this type of grass and subsequently paving the way for more selective herbivores to arrive later. The ability of the pink antelope to detect danger relies heavily on its sharp sense of smell and hearing, as its vision is relatively poor. As a result, they tend to be most active at dawn and dusk, when predators like lions or wild dogs are less likely to launch a direct attack. When a threat is detected, the entire herd typically reacts simultaneously, moving against the wind direction and maintaining a tight formation to protect the young ones at the center. The pink antelope is not only prey for top predators, but also an important target in the traditional hunting activities of some indigenous communities. Despite being protected in nuclear areas like Naxai Pan and Makgadikgadi, the population of pink antelopes in Makgadikgadi still faces threats from poor conservation, enforcement, and rampant grass harvesting in the buffer zones. Across the arid fields of Naipan, a cheetah emerged from the low grass like a sudden arrow of motion. Not a single roar, just the deadly silence of superior speed. The cheetah, scientifically known as Echinonyx jubatus, is the only species in this genus distinguished by its unique physical characteristics, such as an extremely flexible spine, long legs, and a deep chest. Particularly notable are its semi-retractable claws, which enhance grip for explosive sprints. Under ideal conditions, an adult cheetah can reach a maximum speed of up to 70 miles per hour, accelerating from 0 to 45 miles per hour in just 2.5 seconds, making it the fastest land animal on Earth. Their light golden fur, evenly distributed with black spots, helps the cheetah blend harmoniously into the dry savanna environment. The distinctive black markings, extending from the corners of the eyes down to the mouth, help reduce glare from sunlight and enhance focus, allowing them to track prey accurately from a distance. Cheetahs primarily rely on their eyesight to identify targets, often medium-sized antelopes such as impalas or springboks, which tend to wander alone during the dry season and gather near the few remaining water sources. An adult cheetah consumes an average of 2.5 to 4 kilograms of meat each day and must hunt frequently to maintain its energy, as its body contains very little fat for storage. However, it is precisely because its body is designed for running faster rather than... Imagine you are a researcher observing a herd of deer at sunset. You hear the sound of the wind blowing, but your focus is not distracted by the scent of fresh grass or the footsteps of nearby predators. What will you do? These animals are truly mysterious, and they not only exist but also survive amidst the dead. Understanding how they cope and survive is the key to preserving these species in the future. The incredible strength of the cheetah, despite its speed, often chooses to avoid direct confrontation with larger predators like hyenas. They often eat quickly to reduce the risk of losing their prey. According to the latest survey in 2024 from the Cheetah Conservation Fund, the Anasai Pan area and the edges of Mornai Reserve are currently supporting approximately 23 to 27 adult individuals, forming a relatively stable population in the dry season migration corridor of Salenda Spillway. This cheetah group plays a crucial role in connecting the cheetah populations in the Okavango Delta and the Chobe region, helping to preserve genetic diversity and stabilize the population amid the increasing loss of heavy clouds drift across the northeastern sky of Namibia. The ground trembles under the weight of a creature that is both revered and cautiously respected, the African buffalo. As the soul of the Caprivi Reserve and a symbol of the untamed strength that has never succumbed in the protected wilderness of Kaza, the herds of wild buffalo move silently like ghostly trains, cutting across the seasonally flooded fields where sunlight bathes the knee-high grass. Each adult buffalo can weigh up to 870 pounds and stand nearly 5 feet 7 inches tall at the shoulder, with a muscular build and sturdy frame, giving them the appearance of living fortresses. The thick and wide crescent-shaped antlers are firmly attached at the base, forming a sturdy protective layer of bone known as a boss. This is a characteristic feature of one of the most formidable herbivores on Capri. As of 2024, more than 4,200 buffalo have been recorded in grasslands, wetlands, and river corridors within community-managed reserves. Unlike strictly protected areas, buffer zones like Caprivi allow for controlled human presence, creating a balanced model in which buffalo become a prime example of coexistence between humans and wildlife. This species of buffalo does not migrate over long distances like antelopes, but they often change their habitat seasonally in search of moisture, fresh grass growth, and reliable water sources. Because buffalo need to drink water daily, they rarely stray far from rivers or wetlands for more than one day. As the dry season tightens its grip, large herds gather around permanent waterholes, forming groups of hundreds, even exceeding 1,000 individuals, turning the ground into a vibrant, living lawnmower, flattening tall grass and clearing a path for more selective grazers like impalas and reedbacks. One of the lesser-known yet important habits of the buffalo. Let's explore the wonders of this wild nature, where life unfolds dramatically and always holds surprises. Can we maintain this balance and protect those marvelous creatures in the modern world? Let's find the answer together. The survival strategy of the buffalo is truly impressive, especially their habit of work. The layer of mud covering the skin not only helps maintain a stable body temperature, but also acts as a natural barrier against parasites and soothes minor wounds. This is a simple yet incredibly effective form of self-care in the wild. When it comes to scavenging animals, one cannot overlook the turkey vulture, the largest species of vulture in Africa. With a wingspan of up to 9 feet 6 inches, it has the ability to glide for hours without flapping its wings, thanks to the warm air currents over the cracked grasslands under the sunlight. The turkey vulture has a body length ranging from 78 to 115 centimeters and can weigh up to 9 kilograms. It has a robust body well suited for the rare task that few other species can perform: approaching and consuming the carcasses of large animals, even when other scavengers have given up due to the thick skin and tough mud. As they approach the corpse, species such as the white-backed vulture or the hooded vulture often have to give way to a bird strong enough to tear apart the muscles in a way that their small beaks. Certainly, the thick, curved, and sturdy beak of the vulture allows it to tear deeply into skin, tendons, and even cartilage. This is a brutal yet extremely important task in the recycling process of the ecosystem. With its smooth pink head marked by characteristic loose skin folds, the turkey vulture is not only a scavenger, but also a vital component that helps maintain a balanced and clean ecosystem. Each journey of these animals holds significance not only in the wild, but also for humanity. Let us reflect on and protect these rich ecosystems, where vibrant life and the delicate interactions of species create a perfect web of survival in nature. Known as a lapid-faced vulture, This bird not only plays a role in regulating its body temperature in arid environments, but also protects its neck during fierce battles over carcasses. However, unlike many other scavenger bird species, the lapid-faced vulture has a poorly developed sense of smell. They rely almost entirely on their extremely keen eyesight to detect animal carcasses, using a natural aerial monitoring system that allows them to spot a dead animal from several miles away, often by observing the movements of other vultures gathering below. Although playing a crucial role in the decomposition of corpses, the population of the lapid-faced vulture is declining sharply in Africa. The main causes include poisoning from pesticides, toxic baits, habitat loss, and most seriously, the illegal hunting of vultures for their body parts used in traditional practices. Not only the peat-faced vulture, but from October 2023 to February 2024, 56 poached African elephant carcasses were discovered in northern Botswana. However, experts believe that this figure only represents a small fraction of the reality, raising serious concerns that this area is becoming a new hotspot for. A recent technical assessment has also highlighted a significant gap in monitoring across the Kaza region, which spans more than 500,000 kilometers. There are only 7 locations currently under the program monitoring the status of illegal elephant hunting. Among them, 4 locations have only started operating since 2018. The monitoring system is still very limited and lacks resources, while the survival of African elephants is becoming increasingly fragile. Although Hyenas National Park still has a small number of black rhinos, primarily concentrated in the Sinatala area, their population has dramatically decreased from around 90 individuals in the 1990s to fewer than 10 individuals. Although Zimbabwe has implemented strict monitoring measures at the cave, including armed patrols and surveillance technology, the threat continues to escalate. Therefore, rhino horns made of keratin continue to be hunted, with a value reaching hundreds of thousands of dollars in the black market. The journey of survival for the black rhinoceros in Hyenas National Park is not over yet. Within the framework of Kaza, conservation initiatives among countries are beginning to attract attention, focusing on protecting migration corridors, relocating vulnerable individuals, and reintroducing them into more strict. These are specific and decisive steps, strong enough to preserve the lives of the creatures that have coexisted with African elephants, lions, and antelopes for thousands of years. In Zambia, regarded as a crucial transit point in illegal trade, the scene of conservation is gradually emerging with many new. With the collaboration of the OBCP organization, the National Park Service, and Wildlife Conservation, enforcement campaigns based on 7 years of collected information have been vigorously implemented in the fight against rhino horn trafficking. These efforts have resulted in the arrest of 36 smugglers in the area, 14 government officials, and 1 international figure directly involved in the black rhino horn trafficking network. Although these numbers may not be as shocking as major news, they convey a clear message. The system is gradually resisting effectively. Kaza reminds us that to protect nature, we need to break down the barriers between nations, communities, and ourselves and the wilderness. If you have the chance to visit Kaza, would you choose to drift along the waters of the Okavango in Mokoro, watch the birds at dawn, or track the footprints of a herd of elephants moving through the area? If you have ever had the chance to sit quietly in a Mokoro gliding gently across the calm waters of the Okavango Delta, or immerse yourself in the simple life at Kazuma camp with the local people, feel free to share your thoughts and stories in the comments below. Who knows, that very authentic experience might inspire someone to embark on a journey of exploration or ignite a passion for protecting nature in a soul that is in need of motivation. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because there are still countless wonderful moments ahead that Nature Moment wants to share with you. Every time nature calls out, it is an opportunity for us to reflect on ourselves and to realize that we are not separate from the wild world, but an inseparable part of it. Nature does not need us, but we cannot live without nature. Beneath the cracked mud, the Nile crocodiles lie still, waiting for a flood that may not. On the sun-scorched land, the striped hyenas are fighting to snatch scraps of food from the hungry vultures. In the sparse forest canopy, the leopards are stealthily stalking their prey. The only sound that echoed was the deep rumble from empty stomachs. The rainy season of 2023 to 2024 has been a complete failure, as the El Niño phenomenon has caused a significant decrease in rainfall, leaving over 50% of Zambia in a state of drought. For South Luangwa National Park, this means that the rivers become dry, the food chain collapses, migration patterns are disrupted, and there are unusual outbreaks of diseases. However, in this wildlife sanctuary, life continues, driven by those species that know how to seize opportunities and persist with the will to survive. It all began in 1938, when South Luangwa was designated as a wildlife. Once a hunting ground for colonial nobility, a true turning point occurred in the 1950s when Norman Carr emerged with a revolutionary idea. Humans could walk among wild animals without. From this vision, the walking safari was born right here on this land. By 1972, South Luangwa officially became a vast national park located in the eastern province, near the borders with Malawi and Mozambique, covering an area of over 9,050 square kilometers. Every step on this land is a journey back to nature, with each moment holding wondrous stories that deserve to be explored and respected. The Machinga Escarpment and the winding Luangwa River create a magnificent natural landscape. From the end point of the Great Rift Valley, a vast basin unfolds like a page written on a backdrop of scorched grass, shattered rocks, and rivers stained red with silt-laden water. Nile Luangwa is the result of ancient geological upheavals, where continental plates once separated, creating deep valleys and fertile alluvial plains. Along the Luangwa River, oxbow lakes are like scars left behind from the river's changes, creating a vibrant network of ponds and lakes that nurture a complex ecological chain. Across this land, the Mopane forest, known for its high drought resistance, dominates with its dense canopies, while the Miombo forest blankets the higher, cooler hills, sheltering unique local species. The climate here is classified as semi-arid tropical, with the rainy season lasting from November to April and the dry season from May to October. During the rainy season, the average annual rainfall reaches between 700 and 1,200 millimeters, creating favorable conditions for the development of wetland ecosystems. In contrast, the dry season brings water scarcity, causing wildlife to gather around the remaining water sources, particularly the Luangwa River, creating vibrant and diverse scenes of nature. Luangwa is famous for its incredible biodiversity, serving as a habitat for more than 60 species of mammals and over 400 species of birds. In particular, this park is the only place that is home to unique species such as the Thornycroft giraffe and the Cook's wildebeest. The Luangwa Center is a place where life revolves around the Luangwa River. When the dry season lasts, the water recedes, turning the river into the only lifeline. Silt and sediment have formed old oxbow lakes that are still full of life. All living creatures are drawn to this. The walking safaris in the heart of Luangwa offer a magical experience, where visitors can trek 6 to 8 kilometers each day through forests and grasslands, following in the footsteps of wildlife. Under the guidance of seasoned experts, each step becomes a journey of silent discovery, a way of storytelling that no medium can touch. As dusk falls over the heart of Luangwa, the throne of tranquility is handed over to the leopard. No need for growls or accompanying instruments. The tiger reigns over the darkness with elegant silence, swift speed, and sharp precision. A true predator in its purest form. The territory of leopards in the Luangwa Valley varies significantly depending on each individual and the conditions of their habitat. Let's explore the wondrous world of wildlife here, where every little corner holds secrets and untold stories just waiting for us to discover and The sex of the leopard cat shows a clear territorial differentiation between male. While the males can control a territory ranging from 28 to 56 kilometers, the females typically occupy smaller areas from 3 to over 40 kilometers. These areas often overlap, especially during the mating season between males and females, but direct conflicts rarely occur unless there is intense competition. Unlike organized predatory animals that engage in long chases and group attacks, leopards choose a solitary, slow, and discreet lifestyle. It is not loud or ostentatious, but it is one of the most effective hunters in the wild. Thanks to a diverse diet that includes insects, birds, and buffalo, leopards demonstrate remarkable adaptability to various environments, including the dry, open woodlands under the sun in the central Luangwa region. Unlike other large predators that typically operate during the day, leopards prefer the dark of night to assert their dominance in the forest. With night vision 7 times stronger than that of humans, the leopard moves like a ghost, perfectly camouflaged in the darkness. Its fur is covered with patterned spikes, like a perfect camouflage. When lying on the dry leaf, the light shines through, and it almost disappeared. The size of the leopard cat varies from 30 to 90 kilograms, depending on gender and living conditions, with a body length that can reach nearly 6.5 feet, including the tail. The stalking skills of this species have become iconic in the animal kingdom. Every step it takes is calculated carefully, each breath held in its throat like an archer drawing back the bowstring. When the moment was ripe, it surged forward at a speed of up to 36 miles per hour, closing the distance in an instant and making a powerful leap. After taking down its prey, the leopard never leaves it on the ground. It's not out of greed, but rather from a deep understanding that other predators, like lions or spotted hyenas. With its powerful body, the leopard dragged its prey up into the tree, where the branches were only accessible to it. The delicate branches of the mopane tree can bend, yet they are strong enough to cradle the reward for many days. Under the blazing sun of the savannah, it is not only strength, but also intelligence and patience that enable the cheetah to survive. This solitary creature teaches us that sometimes silence is the most powerful weapon in the journey to survive. If you are also impressed by the powerful beauty of the cheetah, please leave a 6 in the comment. Don't forget to follow the Nature Moment channel, because right after this, we will continue to explore the secrets never before revealed about the fastest predator on the planet. From the scattered rocks around the Mapan forest, a sound emerged, resonant and sure, breaking the silence of the early morning. That is the call of the Cape baboon, one of the largest, smartest, and most social species in the animal kingdom. Their calls are not just a means of communication. They also signal the rich social life and remarkable coordination of this species of monkey in the wild. The primate species organized in southern Africa display confidence and vibrancy from the moment the sun rises, as if this territory is familiar ground where each step has been mapped out in their minds. In the Luangwa Valley, Chakma baboons typically inhabit rocky mountainous areas, the edges of forests, and buffer zones near the river. Mature males can weigh up to 40 kilograms and measure over 4 feet in length, which is 3 times the average weight of females. Their fur ranges in color from brownish-gray to gray, sometimes featuring a thick mane around the neck, helping them blend into the dusty red terrain, rocky cliffs and short grasslands. They live in groups of 20 to 80 individuals, led by a dominant male who takes on the responsibilities of guiding movement, protecting the group, and maintaining order. This social structure is very flexible, held together by behaviors such as grooming, sharing food, and caring for the young. These strong social relationships not only help the troops of monkeys maintain their spirit of unity when facing enemies, but they also foster a community capable of learning and adapting in remarkable ways. As a true omnivorous animal, the Chakma baboon eats nearly everything it can digest in its surroundings, from grass, roots, fruits, and young leaves to seeds, insects, bird eggs, and small animals such as lizards, mice, and nestlings. Flexibility in diet is one of the key factors that allows them to thrive in various environments, from open forests to semi-deserts, and even mountainous regions. In the Luangwa Central area, They often monitor the seasonal changes of resources, especially the fruits, along the Luangwa River or near the wetlands during the rainy season. When the dry season arrives, baboon troops often retreat to higher ground, where the clear views and rugged terrain help them stay away from predators like leopards. Although they are a species often hunted, Chakma baboons have been observed displaying coordinated responses within their group for self-defense, especially when the young are in danger. Cape baboons use more than 30 different sounds combined with facial expressions and body postures to alert, coordinate movement, or express emotions within the troop. Behavioral studies conducted by the Wildlife Conservation Organization from 2023 to 2024 have confirmed that the body language of Chakma baboons can vary depending on social context, type of terrain, and the relationships between individuals within the group. Their ability to communicate is considered one of the most remarkable things in the animal kingdom. Imagine a morning in the Luangwa Valley, where a troop of baboons gathers on the rocks, calling out to each other about the ripe fruits nearby. Have you ever thought that in the wild, every sound and gesture they make has a profound meaning, reflecting the complex and subtle relationships among the members of the... Let's explore more fascinating stories about the wildlife around us and capture the wonderful moments of nature that we can hardly imagine. In the wild, no primate can match the complexity of the Cape baboon. As the final sounds of the monkeys echoed away into the open forests, a herd of impalas began to appear on the dew-covered grasslands of the early morning. Slender, agile, and always on high alert, the impala does not possess sharp claws or fangs. Instead, it has keen instincts and lightning-fast reflexes, which are essential tools for survival amidst countless unseen challenges. Although they do not have the prominent presence of larger animals, impalas are masters of survival due to their agility. Weighing between 40 and 75 kilograms, with a height of about 35 inches at the shoulder, the body dimensions of the impala are perfectly designed for movement. They can jump as far as 10 meters and as high as 3 meters, not only showcasing athletic feats, but also serving as vital survival strategies to evade predators in the blink of an eye. With wide open eyes, always alert in every direction, and upright ears that can detect even the faintest sounds, the impala truly serves as an early warning system in the dense forest and grasslands. From a predator's perspective, impalas can easily become a moving feast in their eyes. But in reality, the herd of impalas is not made up of passive creatures. Instead, they rely on extremely effective social strategies. Living in a herd helps reduce the risk of being hunted through the dilution effect, where a predator's attention is spread across dozens of moving targets, minimizing the likelihood of any single individual being captured. The impala's diet is also very flexible. Although they primarily eat grass, they do not hesitate to consume leaves, young shoots, or even fruit when necessary, especially during the dry season that lasts from May to October. The ability to change its diet allows the impala to survive in various climate conditions, and types of vegetation, a crucial advantage in an ecosystem that is constantly affected by climate change. As the herd of impalas moved to the edge of the forest to escape the rising heat, the ground began to tremble with a distant sound. It was the synchronized sound of hundreds of Cape buffalo, moving with the order and strength of an ancient army, silently patrolling the boundary between the forest and the river. The Cape buffalo is one of the strongest hoofed animals in Africa. Adult males can weigh up to 900 kilograms and stand nearly 5 feet 3 inches tall at the shoulder, sporting a pair of powerful, curved horns with a thick frontal shield, giving them a majestic and imposing appearance. Those images, along with the dramatic survival battles among wild species, are fascinating pieces in the grand tapestry of nature. They showcase the power and beauty of wildlife that we need to protect and understand. Let's explore more about this wonderful world together. The herd of buffalo in the Cape region is not only a means of defense, but also a symbol of dominance in the... They never live alone. Instead, they exist in large herds, sometimes numbering in the thousands. The social structure within the herd is organized into smaller units, with family groups led by females, while males typically form bachelor groups and only return to the herd during the breeding season. Ecologists have observed an interesting behavior known as collective voting. When the herd decides on a direction to move, each female will stand up and face a specific direction. The final direction will be determined by the majority, a fundamental form of animal democracy. The diet of the Cape buffalo primarily consists of grass and soft-stemmed plants, making them highly dependent on moisture and the growing season of vegetation. During the rainy season, food is abundant across the meadows. But when the dry season arrives, they are forced to move closer to the Luangwa River, sometimes even having to swim through areas filled with crocodiles to search for grasslands on the opposite bank. Their impressive swimming ability is not only a testament to the endurance of their muscles, but also to their relentless determination to survive. In the wild, Cape buffalo have an average lifespan of 15 to 25 years. A female gives birth after being pregnant for about 11 months. The newborn calves are closely guarded by the entire herd, especially during the first few months of life, when lions and hyenas often lurk near shallow water sources. Research in South Luangwa has shown that the survival rate of calves depends heavily on the size and structure of the herd, reinforcing the idea that collective strength plays a crucial role in the survival strategies of this species. Although rarely hunting, the Cape buffalo has been given the nickname Black Death. The name comes from an unpredictable nature and the ability to launch a surprising counterattack when few animals can make a lion retreat, but buffalo can, especially when they stand together to defend themselves. This reminds us that in the wild, strength does not come solely from claws and sharp fangs, but also from unity and the fierce will to survive that nature has bestowed upon every creature he has created. As the rhythmic footsteps of the Cape buffalo herd gradually faded, the image of a lion emerged, an undisputed king of the Luangwa Valley. in the blazing heat rising from the cracked ground. The lion did not need to appear overly hurried. Its presence affirmed that it was a symbol of strength and authority in this wild expanse. In that moment, life and death, predator and prey collided, creating endless stories in the cycle of survival. Imagine you are standing in front of one of nature's most powerful creatures, a lion. With their majestic and mysterious presence, their silence is enough to stir an entire savanna, causing every creature to tread carefully. The evolutionary history of lions dates back hundreds of thousands of years, when their ancestors roamed the frigid plains of Europe, the deserts of the Middle East, and the vast grasslands of Africa. Today, lions are found only in the sub-Saharan region and in a small population in India. South Africa, especially the central Luangwa region, is a place where lions still exist at a relatively high density, making it one of the last natural strongholds for this beautiful species. Here, the lions live in tight-knit groups called prides, with a clear social structure where each member plays an indispensable role. The lioness is the heart of the pride, working together to hunt, raise their young, and maintain social bonds that help keep the group united. Meanwhile, the male lions are the protectors of the territory, helping to drive away intruders that could threaten the stability and safety of the pride. The semi-arid climate of Luangwa creates a distinct division between the two seasons. When the dry season arrives, from May to October, the land becomes a true test of endurance. Water sources have become scarce. Grass has turned brittle and sparse, forcing most animal species to gather around the last remaining waterholes, where in nature, the females move like ghosts. They make no noise or haste, only patience, like seasoned hunters born to pursue. When the prey appears, they rush forward in a sudden leap, reaching speeds of up to 50 miles per hour. Their eyes can see 6 times better than humans in the dark. Their claws are sharp as knives, and their bodies are so agile that they can leap across distances of 11 meters in a single jump. A precise bite to the neck, the hunt ended in just a few seconds. According to data from Panthera and the IUCN Red List in 2024, the population of lions in Africa has declined by more than 40% over the past 30 years, with only about 20,000 to 25,000 individuals remaining in the wild. In Zambia, South Luangwa remains a bright spot, thanks to active conservation efforts, anti-poaching programs, satellite tracking of herds, and community awareness initiatives. Some famous herds in the central Luangwa region, such as the large herd, once numbered in the dozens of individuals. What can we do to protect these strong friends and their habitats? By raising awareness and participating in conservation activities, each of us can be part of the solution, ensuring that lions continue to be a symbol of wilderness and strength in the future. More than 30 elephants have separated into small groups and are now scattered across areas like Mamba and Inafu, continuing to create their own unique stories amid the grasslands and red earth of this magnificent valley. as the silent footsteps of the lion, the king of the arid plains, led the way. The massive shapes of the African elephants gradually emerge along the fertile banks of the Luangwa River. Moving slowly but always carrying the weight of existence, they head toward the water source, bringing with them the wisdom and herd instinct that have been honed over thousands of generations. Adult males can weigh up to 6 tons and stand as tall as 11.5 feet at the shoulder, which is roughly equivalent to a 2-story house. A size that is both an advantage and a challenge during the harsh, dry season. This enormous size is not only an advantage but also presents a challenge during the dry season, when food and water become scarce. Their large ears, resembling those of a hawk, are lined with a dense network of blood vessels that function like natural radiators, helping their massive bodies release heat under the scorching sun of the valley. In the central region of Luangwa, where temperatures can exceed 104 degrees Fahrenheit at the peak of the dry season, the ability to regulate body temperature is truly a matter of survival. The long and flexible trunk, made up of more than 40,000 individual muscles, is a versatile tool that allows them to eat, drink, communicate, provide comfort, or guide through gentle touches, and even breathe while swimming through deep river sections. The tusks of elephants are actually elongated upper incisors that grow throughout their lives. They are not only tools for extracting water from dry crevices, but also tools for chopping down trees, clearing paths through dense forests, or defending against threats. At the Luangwa Center, where the Luangwa River becomes the sole lifeline during the dry season, the presence of elephants far exceeds the value of the natural landscapes. They open paths through the dense forest and mopane woodland, allowing smaller species to follow. Their movements caused trees to fall and created gaps in the forest, opening up opportunities for new plants to grow. Each journey carries the dispersal of seeds through their droppings, a form of planting that no other species can perform as effectively. Studies from elephant voices, along with research on flora and fauna, continue to affirm the remarkable intelligence of this species. They have the ability to remember the paths that lead to the water sources that have dried up many years ago. Distinguish between dozens of different sounds in the surrounding environment and use low-frequency sounds to communicate. Elephants are not just magnificent creatures. They are ecosystem managers, making significant contributions to diversity and balance in nature. So, when you observe the majestic elephants in the wild, do you feel their important role in preserving life in this valley? Let your soul experience that grandeur. In the wild, the presence of a herd of elephants always brings about wonders. Herds of elephants can travel up to 10 miles to maintain communication with other groups without the need for GPS or maps. They know every road, every water source, and all potential threats. In elephant society, the oldest female, usually the matriarch, is regarded as a supreme leader, holding invaluable experience from each step of the elephants closely follows the call of their mother, from the newborn calves to the fully grown adults. When a member of the herd falls, The others do not drift away but gather around, gently touching the body with their trunks in silence. This behavior was once considered instinctual, but with advancements in science, we now recognize it as an expression of emotional intelligence, a rare and profound trait in the animal kingdom. However, sadly, African elephant populations are declining sharply in many areas due to poaching and habitat loss. According to data published by the World Wildlife Fund in 2024, the population of African elephants across the continent is estimated to be only about 415,000 individuals, a decrease of nearly 30% compared to 2 decades ago. Nevertheless, in the Luangwa region, community-based conservation initiatives, armed patrol teams, and GPS technology are working in harmony, creating opportunities for the herd of elephants to continue writing their own story. In the midst of the wilderness, where the mopane forests stretch wide, the image of a bird flitting about appears, weaving erratically through the skies of Zambia. Its unusual movements, short tail, sleek black fur, and captivating chestnut color, along with its bright red face, make it stand out against the harsh backdrop of central Luangwa. This is the betelgeuse, a species of eagle from the lower Sahara, a quiet yet bold nomad in this semi-arid ecosystem. The first distinctive feature is its flight, resembling a dry leaf gliding on the breeze, thanks to its unusually short tail that sets it apart from any other eagle. Each time it stretches in the heat waves, its body moves gracefully, as if dancing in the vast sky. The betelgeuse eagle manages a vast territory, averaging about 400 miles. They are very protective of their territory and do not easily accept intruders, especially those of the... When detecting an unfamiliar presence, the betelgeuse immediately performs characteristic aerial attacks, diving and rolling through the sky at speeds reaching up to 50 to 56 miles per hour. It is a bold expression of their territorial instinct, a courageous act amidst the arid skies of Luangwa. Not only that, but there are many other intriguing things hidden beneath this gloomy sky, waiting for us to discover. In the wild, the betelgeuse eagle plays an extremely important role, as far from the image of a powerful solitary predator. The betelgeuse is actually a clever opportunist that hunts small prey such as birds, reptiles, and insects, while also not shying away from scavenging the carcasses of larger animals. With its exceptional eyesight, the betelgeuse is often the first species to detect signs of death from a distance. Just after each bath, which usually takes place in natural pools, the betelgeuse often perches high on a tree branch, spreading its wings wide to dry its thick feathers in the warm sunlight. This image evokes the vision of a guardian spirit with arms outstretched in a silent yet steadfast protection over the land below. Amidst the tranquil wetlands and dense mopane forests in the heart of Luangwa, a sharp cry pierced the air like a knife slicing through it. That is the call of the African fish eagle, a symbol of the landscape of Zambia. The moment the sound rises, you know that the king of the sky has awakened. The African fish eagle is not just a part of the natural landscape. It is also a vital heartbeat in the rhythm of life at South Luangwa National Park. With its pure white head and chest, deep dark brown wings, and curved yellow beak, its image stands out against the deep blue sky and is reflected in the shimmering water below. Although widely distributed throughout the sub-Saharan region, the fish eagle is closely associated with areas near water, particularly those rich in fish that it hunts. Known for its impressive size, the bald eagle has a wingspan of up to 8 feet. Its powerful legs are perfectly designed for catching fish. The rough surface on the sole of its foot, along with its sharp, curved claws, creates an excellent gripping mechanism, allowing it to hold onto slippery prey in mid-air without needing to make many adjustments after the attack. The hunting strategy of the fish eagle is quite simple, yet extremely effective. It usually chooses a high spot near the water's edge to observe the movements beneath. When a fish swims near the surface of the water, it plunges down in an instant at high speed, its claws gliding across the water's surface to catch its prey in a smooth and seamless motion. Without hesitation or unnecessary movement, each action has been refined over thousands of generations to serve precision and energy efficiency. When necessary, it can retreat to wetland areas to hunt small waterfowl, reptiles, or even consume carrion. Think about it. Skill and strength not only help the eagle survive, but also symbolize a healthy ecosystem, where each species contributes to the balance and richness of nature. In the vibrant picture of the natural world, the beta and the African fish eagle are not only predators, but also guardians of the harmony of wildlife. Their presence is a testament to the vibrant vitality of nature, and each time we hear their calls, we know that life is unfolding powerfully and intensely. Let's come together to protect these guardians and the lands they inhabit, so that a vibrant wilderness may continue to thrive. In addition to its remarkable hunting abilities, the African fish eagle also demonstrates surprising intelligence and greed. This bird is unafraid of becoming a thief, capable of stealing prey from other birds such as fish eagles and herons. This behavior not only demonstrates a clever form of competition within the food chain, but also represents a skillful survival strategy in the wild, where resources are always scarce and constantly fluctuating. The reproductive life of the fish eagle is closely tied to long-term relationships. African fish eagles are monogamous and often stay bonded with each other for life. Their nests are built from twigs and are often placed high up in trees along rivers or wetlands with a diameter that can reach up to 6 feet. These nests are not only reused, but also expanded each year. In each breeding cycle, the pair usually lays between 1 and 3 eggs, and both parents participate in incubating the eggs as well as caring for the hatchlings. In the central Luangwa ecosystem, the African fish eagle serves as a natural biological indicator. Its continuous presence signals that the river and wetland systems remain clean and biologically productive enough to sustain fish and other aquatic organisms. Ecologically, its role in regulating small fish populations also helps maintain balance in aquatic systems, preventing population explosions that could disrupt nutrient dynamics and the overall health of the ecosystem. Notably, in addition to Zambia, this bird is also a national symbol of several countries, such as Zimbabwe and South Sudan. People see it as a symbol of strength, vision, and steadfast independence. Under every sky, there is a symbol representing the soul of the land. Please share in the comments which bird represents your hometown. Under the blazing sun, reflecting on the calm surface of the Lufan-Kapamba wetlands, a thick, scaly shape lay motionless by the riverbank, not yet visible beneath the surface of the water. The Nile crocodile waits, its cold, unblinking eyes focused on any movement. As soon as a young antelope lowers its head to drink water, the king of the south, Luangwa swamp, will awaken. The Nile crocodile is the product of millions of years of evolution, a perfect hunt. The largest individuals can reach lengths of up to 6 meters and weigh nearly 700 kilograms, making it the largest reptile on the African continent. And when the jaw closes, there is no way out. Its biting force has been recorded at over 20,000 newtons, which is 5 to 6 times stronger than the bite of a great white shark, enough to crush hard bones in the brink of a... Its weapon is not speed. Rather, it is patience and strategic waiting until the opportunity arises. In the wild, where every moment can determine life or death, the combination of the intelligence of the osprey, the cold patience of the crocodile, and the primal strength of the predator creates a breathtaking ecological symphony. Those scenes are not only beautiful, but also evoke the delicate balance that nature always maintains. Have you ever witnessed moments like that? Share your story with Nature Moment, a place that celebrates the raw and authentic beauty of nature. With the agility of a track athlete, yet possessing the strength of patience, the ability to ambush, and the precision of an arrow striking in an instant, the Nile crocodile shines as an opportunistic predator in the wild. Although fish is the main dish on its menu, this crocodile does not hesitate to expand its menu to include waterfowl, medium-sized mammals, and even smaller reptiles, including its own kind when necessary. In the swamps of Lufa and Kapamba, where the gentle flow and abundant fish thrive year-round, the Nile crocodile dominates the shallow waters and sandy shores, primarily active in the early morning and late afternoon. They also have the ability to move upstream through tributaries, using their powerful tails to push through the water or deliver strong strikes on the surface, stunning their prey into paralysis. Despite having a rough exterior, the Nile crocodile demonstrates an astonishing level of parental care that is rarely seen in other reptile species. The breeding season begins at the end of the dry season, when the water recedes to reveal the sandy banks of the river, an ideal place for the young to nest. Each clutch can contain between 25 and 80 eggs, buried deep beneath the layer of moist sand. Interestingly, the gender of newly hatched offspring completely depends on the temperature. A temperature of about 31.6 degrees Celsius typically produces male individuals, while higher or lower temperatures result in females, a process known as temperature-dependent sex determination. When the eggs are close to hatching, the faint sounds of the chicks can be heard from inside the shells, signaling to the mother that it is time to help them break free. Mother will gently lift each egg with her nose and bring them to the water's edge. After hatching, both the mother and father can together protect the young for the first few weeks, a critical period when the risk of predation is high from birds of prey, large fish, and even other adult Nile crocodiles. This species can live for over 50 years in captivity, and many individuals in the wild have been recorded to live beyond 60 years, demonstrating their remarkable vitality and incredible adaptability. In the South Luangwa region, particularly in the wetland systems of Luama and Kapamba, which play a crucial role in providing water during the dry season, Nile crocodiles continue to maintain a stable population thanks to strict conservation policies and a relatively pristine natural environment. It seems that the Nile crocodile dominates everything that dares to approach the swamp. But in reality, there is one resident that it must consider carefully before confronting. That is the hippopotamus. With its massive size, teeth as sharp as an axe, and a somewhat unpredictable personality, the hippopotamus truly poses a significant challenge to the Nile crocodile. The hippopotamus, one of the most impressive wild animals, has the ability to tear apart an adult crocodile when provoked, always commanding deep respect. Conflicts often arise only when resources become scarce, or when an individual crosses a boundary. Every day, hippos spend most of their time underwater, not swimming like fish, but instead walking or gently hopping along the river bed. Although they do not swim in the physiological sense, they move through the water with surprising ease. With a weight of up to 1,800 kilograms for males and a length of nearly 4 meters. The hippopotamus has skin that is almost hairless and is very sensitive to sunlight. To protect itself, a hippopotamus secretes a light pink oil. However, in reality, this is a unique biological compound that acts as a natural sunscreen, antibacterial agent, and moisturizer. These remarkable adaptations have never been recorded in any other mammal species. As night falls, the temperature drops and silence envelops the land. The hippopotamus leaves the water, following the worn paths along the shore of the lagoon to begin its nighttime search for food. With a mouth that spans 70 centimeters, it grazes on grass by cutting it close to the roots, meticulously moving through the low pastures. Every night, a hippopotamus can consume up to 40 kilograms of grass and is willing to travel as far as 5 miles from the waterhole in search of food. In contrast to their sluggish appearance in the water, a hippopotamus facing a threat can reach speeds of up to 30 miles per hour on land, an impressive feat for such a massive animal. In wetland areas, they live in social groups called herds, usually consisting of one dominant male, several females, and their young. Each group controls a specific stretch of water, and the dominant males protect their territory through loud roars, threatening gestures, and when necessary, fierce battles. Power struggles can lead to serious injuries. and sometimes even death. The reproduction process occurs underwater, typically at the end of the rainy season after a gestation period of about 8 months. Each time, only one offspring is born, weighing between 25 and 40. The baby can nurse both underwater and on land, and is always carefully protected by its mother throughout the first year of life. The hippopotamus is actually the closest living relative of whales and dolphins. At first glance, this seems absurd. A creature weighing tons, living in freshwater swamps, is closely related to the masters of the deep blue ocean. But evolutionary science tells a different story. The story begins about 55 million years ago, when a semi-aquatic mammal with hooves started its journey of evolutionary divergence. One branch entered the ocean, gradually evolving into whales and dolphins, while the other branch remained in freshwater environments and continued to evolve into the hippos we know today. This miraculous connection not only demonstrates the power of evolution, but also reveals the astonishing depth of how different species adapt to their environment. The hippopotamus, with its small ears that can fold back when submerged, a unique respiratory system, and a semi-aquatic lifestyle, still carries within it the biological memories of an ancestor that once dreamed of the ocean. From the structure of the ears to the ability to close the nostrils, and especially the capacity to communicate underwater through vocal cord vibrations, everything demonstrates their connection. According to the latest assessment in 2023 by the International Union for Conservation of Nature (UCAS, the hippopotamus is now classified as a vulnerable species due to habitat loss, human-wildlife conflict, and poaching for its tusks that resemble ivory. However, in Zambia, particularly in South Luangwa National Park, strong conservation efforts from the local community and international organizations have helped maintain the stability of the hippopotamus population. The pristine waters of Luama and Kapamba have become natural biological fortresses, providing essential refuge for these giants of the wilderness. In the shallow water shimmering in the morning light, a group of hippos lay quietly, with only their rounded backs and small ears protruding above the surface. Next to them, a slender little yellow-headed heron walked gently, its pale pink legs gliding over the muddy ground, as if trying to be careful not to wake the giants relaxing nearby. With its characteristic yellow, curved beak, the heron slowly sweeps across the surface of the water, occasionally startled, diving quickly to catch a small fish or an insect hiding beneath a layer of mud. The golden-headed Corythosaurus has a height ranging from 90 to 105 centimeters, with an average wingspan of about 160 centimeters and a weight of approximately 2 kilograms. They prefer to live in shallow waters ranging from 10 to 40 centimeters, where the movement of small fish, frogs, and aquatic insects is restricted, creating ideal conditions for their specialized hunting techniques. The golden-billed stork employs a hunting technique known as bill snapping, a lightning-fast response that allows it to close its beak in just 25 milliseconds. When it detected a slight movement in the water, it gently stirred the bottom of a pond, creating an effect that attracted prey. As soon as a fish, crustacean, or insect appears, the miraculous reflex of the golden beak will complete the remaining task. The behavior of the golden-billed heron not only demonstrates its exceptional hunting skills, but also reflects its high social nature. They rarely hunt alone, often foraging for food in large groups. Furthermore, they are also colonial-style builders. In addition to hunting in groups, they build their nests together, demonstrating a strong social bond in nature. In the wetlands and swamps of Zambia, large bird nests are built from branches, high up in the tree canopies along the lagoons, or in clusters of mopane trees near water sources. These nests can reach heights of nearly 1 meter and are reused over multiple breeding seasons. The chicks are raised by both parents, who will feed them by regurgitating partially digested food. When the weather is hot, parents also know how to cool down the little chicks by gently flapping their wings or dropping water into their beaks. In the ecosystem of the southern Luangwa lagoons, the presence of the yellow-billed stork brings significant ecological value. As a mid-level predator in the freshwater food chain, it helps regulate populations of small fish, crustaceans, and insects, thereby maintaining balance among the various ecological levels. Furthermore, the foraging behavior of the yellow-billed stork, when it stirs up the water's surface, creates ripples that benefit many other species such as the white stork, the short-tailed stork, and the long-tailed pheasant, allowing these species to take advantage of the disturbed prey. The interactions among these species create a stable, diverse ecosystem that supports one another. In the wetlands of eastern Zambia, a striking feature has united many residents of the shallow waters, the graceful white plumage of the region's iconic bird species. The golden-headed stork not only has a tall and slender figure with white feathers accented by shades of pink, but the African spoonbill also presents a gentle beauty, draped in pure white from its neck to its wings. Despite their differences in shape and behavior, both types of birds embody a graceful beauty, like bright dots against the serene backdrop of the wetlands of Luangwa and Kapamba. The African spoonbill stands about 90 centimeters tall, with a wingspan of up to 120 centimeters, and its body weight ranges from 1.2 to 1.5 kilograms. Its pristine white fur, light pink legs, and characteristic long, flat beak make it easily recognizable. That flat beak is its primary tool for hunting with precision. When foraging for food, the African spoonbill will keep its bill slightly open and sweep it across the water's surface in an arc. When prey such as small fish, crustaceans, or insect larvae touches the sensitive edge of its beak, a reflex occurs in less than 30 milliseconds, allowing it to grasp the prey and bring it directly to its mouth without any adjustment. In the seasonal wetlands of Luangwa and Kapamba, where water gradually recedes after the rains, leaving behind shallow, mud-filled pools, the hunting strategy of the spoonbill becomes extremely effective. Its gentle yet continuous predatory behavior not only helps regulate the population of bottom-dwelling creatures, but also contributes to maintaining the ecological balance in this rich, natural environment. In semi-arid wetland ecosystems, the ecological roles of animal species always present new challenges and opportunities. One of the important components of this ecosystem is the stirring of sediments, which helps distribute dissolved oxygen more evenly in the water, resulting in a natural improvement in water quality. Each species of animal holds an essential position in the flow of energy and the nutrient cycle, demonstrating a strong connection between living organisms. Continuing the journey to explore the wilderness, the sky over the southern region and the Encefus area is vibrant with hundreds of southern hummingbirds soaring through the air. The carmine pink fur, interspersed with turquoise spots, creates vibrant streaks of color against the arid backdrop of the dry season. This is not only a spectacular visual performance, but also a testament to their perfect adaptation to wind, water, and fire. The southern carmine bee-eater is truly an exceptional aerial performer in the world of insect-eating birds. Their hunting technique is based on the strategy of hawking, where they accurately target their prey before launching from a bare branch to catch flying insects in midair. Although called honeybird, their diet is much more varied than the name suggests. From termites, cicadas, dragonflies, and butterflies to grasshoppers, any insect that dares to leave its hiding place becomes an easy target. In this region, wildfires frequently break out at the end of the dry season, which is when the southern carmine bee-eaters begin to appear. They danced around the edge of the fire like vibrant streaks of color, bearing witness to the feast taking place amidst flames, smoke, and a powerful instinct for survival. Even large animals like bustards, trunks, or safari vehicles cannot escape their watchful eyes, as even the slightest movement is enough to disturb the insects from their hiding places. During the breeding season, the soft clay banks along the Luangwa River become expansive nesting areas. The southern carmine bee-eater lives in a communal nesting system, with hundreds of individuals digging burrows side by side in the same riverbank area. Each nest is a tunnel with a depth of up to 2 meters, ending in a small chamber where the eggs are safely incubated. Their migration journey goes through 3 intricate stages, beginning with the breeding season along rivers such as the Zambezi or in areas like the Cape Peninsula of Namibia. After the breeding season, they migrate south to avoid the heavy rains of the early season and eventually reach the areas around the equator in Africa, where insects are abundant throughout the year. Amid the steep cliffs and rugged slopes of the Mayombo Plateau, the klipspringer antelope does not rely on speed for survival. Instead, it gently measures each step with careful precision down to the very centimeter, with hooves smaller than a coin, gliding softly across the surface. On the rugged stone surfaces, seemingly born from the very terrain itself, the klipspringer moves gracefully, steadily, and is almost impossible to slip or fall. In the southern circle and area of South Luangwa National Park, this creature has found an almost perfect refuge. The steep cliffs, with their slippery rock surfaces and scattered vegetation characteristic of the southern Mambo forest, create a natural maze where adaptability is the key to survival. As the elevation gradually rises to about 1,400 meters above sea level, surface water becomes scarce, humidity remains low year-round, and human presence is nearly absent. The body structure of the klipspringer is a clear testament to the process of natural selection. With a height of only about 50 to 60 centimeters and a weight ranging from 8 to 18 kilograms, it equipped with strong legs and small but incredibly durable hooves. These hooves allow it to grip tightly onto sharp and slippery rock surfaces. Thanks to this special ability, the klipspringer can jump as high as 10 to 12 feet. An impressive feat for such a small creature, especially considering that the landing area may only be a few square inches wide. Their fur is also a marvel of biological adaptation. Thick, coarse, and with empty spaces inside, each hair acts like an insulating layer against the cold of the highland nights, while also serving as a natural cushion to help absorb shocks as they move over sharp rocks. Klipspringers live as lifelong pairs, rarely separating from each other, maintaining a deep and strong bond. They do not migrate seasonally, but remain steadfast in a single territory over time, marking it with secretions from their prehend glands and their droppings, an effective ecological map that helps avoid conflict and strengthens the bond of the pair. When faced with a threat, two klipspringers often stand close together, emitting sharp alarm calls like whistles, before climbing to the nearest high point to observe the enemy. In a dry environment where water is not available year-round, the klipspringer has evolved to rely entirely on the moisture from its food. They primarily eat leaves, flowers, and fruits from native trees such as mopane, marula, and tamarind scattered throughout the open Mambo forests. Their compact bodies help them conserve energy, a significant advantage during the long, dry seasons that very few other animals can endure. In the face of nature's harsh conditions, sometimes a true miracle lies not in physical strength, but in calmness. The resilience and relentless adaptability of this wild animal serve as a reminder from nature that when given the chance, life always finds a way. Amid the relentless challenges of nature, sometimes a subtle leap holds more power than 1,000 acts of violence. From the tiny klipspringer, we learn that it is not necessary to be grand in order to survive. One simply needs to understand and harmonize with their surrounding environment. The steadfast love between two beings in the mountains is also nature's whisper that in solitude, companionship is the most precious thing of all. You are accompanying nature moment, a place that preserves every incredible moment of the wild and conveys stories that leave our hearts still with emotion. In contrast to the klipspringer, a small antelope that resembles a rock and clings to the steep cliffs of the Mochinga Mountains, a different silhouette quietly lurks through the thick grass in the lower areas. That is the bushbuck, a species of antelope that lives on the forest edge, often choosing a life hidden among sparse forests and dense thickets. Each adult individual, especially the males, has a robust physique with a height ranging from 70 to 80 centimeters and a weight varying from 88 to 176 pounds. One of the most recognizable features is the gently twisted pair of horns that is found only in males. These horns are not only weapons in brief confrontations between foes, but also indicators of age and reproductive capability. With its large, round ears that can rotate independently, the bushbuck has an exceptional ability to hear from various directions. The sense of smell has developed remarkably, allowing them to detect the scent of predators from afar. Naturally cautious, the bushbuck moves stealthily, often avoiding well-trodden paths to keep its presence discreet. They live alone for most of the time, only pairing up during the breeding season, instead of defending a fixed territory. They maintain personal spaces and often avoid direct contact with other individuals, even when sharing the same habitat. Although bushbucks do not undertake long migrations, they adjust their range based on environmental conditions. In drought years, they will move closer to hidden water sources, nestled among the cliffs or along temporary waterways created by rainfall. In particular, this species can survive solely by collecting dew on the leaves, a unique survival strategy that allows them to persist in water-scarce areas such as the high regions of the Mushinga Escarpment. Their diet is quite diverse, consisting of leaves, young shoots, flowers, fruits, soft grasses, and occasionally aquatic plants. At South Luangwa National Park, remote areas like the Mushinga Escarpment, where humans have yet to tread extensively and tourism has not developed significantly, create an ideal environment for these mysterious antelopes to thrive. On the misty slopes of the Mushinga Escarpment, where bushbucks stealthily move through layers of dry grass in silence, a light musky scent wafts through the air, hinting at the mysteries of wildlife. Imagine if you were a bushbuck, taking each careful step, listening intently to the sounds around you. You would feel the grandeur yet also the challenges of the environment you are trying to adapt to. Will you find life in every drop of dew or in the wild fragments of nature? The story of the bushbuck is not only a struggle for survival, but also a testament to the power of nature and the resilience of animals, from which we can learn a great deal. On a wild prairie, a place that is quiet yet full of mystery, we suddenly notice the appearance of a stealthy predator, the spotted hyena, with careful, silent footsteps. The spotted hyena is often misunderstood as a sneaky. However, in reality, they do not live in isolation. Each hyena is a part of a tightly structured community that we call a clan. This is a matriarchal society, where the females lead and protect the members of the group. A pack of hyenas can consist of up to 80 individuals, spread across a large territory, yet they are connected through unique social rituals. Upon returning from their hunts, the members greet each other with affectionate gestures, affirm their social status, and communicate through a series of complex sounds. This fission-fusion structure allows hyenas to be highly adaptable in hunting and resource management, especially in dense forests like the Mayombo region. At South Luangwa National Park, with its characteristic mumbo forests, Spotted hyenas are not merely scavengers as commonly perceived by people. On the contrary, they are persistent and intelligent hunters, as well as members of one of the most complex social systems among carnivorous species. With a body length of up to 2 meters and a weight that can reach 82 kilograms. The hyena is not only strong but also very agile, standing out amidst the golden grasslands and the twisted trunks of the dry season. Their light brown fur is accented with random black spots, along with a short mane and round ears, making hyenas easily recognizable in the dense forest landscape. Notably, in about 60% of cases, the spotted hyena actively initiates coordinated, large-scale hunts that are highly effective. When targeting large prey, they often operate in groups of 3 to 15 individuals, each with clear roles and strategic positions. Powerful hyenas often lead the chase, pursuing their prey until it is exhausted, while others flank the sides, forming a tight-knit attack formation. With speeds of up to 60 miles per hour and extraordinary endurance, the spotted hyena can pursue its prey over long distances, sometimes several miles, until the prey's life is in danger, creating an opportunity for a final decisive attack. What is most impressive is that their bite force is the strongest among all predatory animals, reaching 4,500 newtons. This terrifying strength allows them to easily crush the bones of legs, joints, and even the skulls of hoofed animals. In the ecological landscape of South Luangwa, the spotted hyena is indispensable. Their role goes beyond just hunting. It also includes cleaning up, helping to prevent the spread of disease by consuming scattered carcasses. This creates a sustainable ecological cycle, where each individual contributes to the precious balance of nature. Yes, hooves, ligaments, and even bones. Thanks to the presence of the spotted hyena, the wilderness is kept clean and maintains a natural balance. In the Mushinga region, characterized by rugged terrain, sparse vegetation, and a prolonged dry season that limits food sources, the diverse diet of the spotted hyena, along with its resilient survival skills, has given it a significant advantage. Similar to hyenas, African wild dogs are predators that thrive and survive thanks to their strong social bonds within the pack. As darkness gradually descends upon the Mushinga Mountains, the agile forms of African wild dogs glide by with astonishing grace. These are the masters of collaboration. African wild dogs live in tightly bonded packs ranging from 6 to 20 individuals, led by a dominant breeding pair. Each puppy is cared for by the entire pack, and even the injured members are fed and supported. Interestingly, unlike many pair-bonding animal species, it is the females, rather than the males, that leave the group upon reaching maturity. This strategy not only prevents inbreeding, but also enhances genetic diversity within the population. Individuals always maintain communication through sounds, body gestures. They use a unique voting method to achieve consensus on whether to hunt or move. Each sound and each glance carries a meaning, allowing the entire group to operate as a cohesive unit in perfect harmony. Unlike any other member of the dog family, the African wild dog is the only surviving species in the genus Lycaon, characterized by distinctive biological features such as having only 4 toes on each foot, instead of 5, along with a patterned coat featuring unique patches of brown, black, white, and yellow for each individual. Their large, round ears not only serve to amplify sound, but also function as biological radiators, helping to regulate body temperature during high-speed chases in the sweltering heat of the tropics. At South Luangwa National Park, where the complex terrain of the Mushinga Mountains creates transitional ecological zones between forest and savanna, African wild dogs play a crucial role in the food chain. An adult typically weighs between 40 and 80 pounds and measures between 3 feet 3 inches and 5. Although they are not as powerful as spotted hyenas, their hunting abilities are impressive, earning the respect of even the most seasoned predators. The success rate of hunting for African wild dogs can reach 80%, significantly higher than that of lions. Imagine that you are immersed in the sounds of the jungle, where survival battles take place every day. Every moment is an opportunity, and every life is a story. The African wild dog, with its exceptional hunting skills, combined with strong pack cohesion, will surely provide you with a profound insight into the world of wildlife that few have ever witnessed. The African wild dog, one of nature's most unique predators, typically achieves a success rate of about 25 to 30% in its hunts. However, our strategy is not solely based on a precise jump, but rather on patience and endurance. They can maintain a speed of about 60 miles per hour over long distances, gradually overpowering their victims before delivering the final blow. Their main targets are animals, such as Impala antelopes, bush zebras, or young deer. Species that live in herds and often become scattered under pressure. This is perfectly aligned with the strategy of wild dogs. African wild dogs are not merely predators. They also play a crucial role in maintaining ecological balance, controlling prey populations, reducing pressure on vegetation, and preventing population explosions in herbivore species. However, currently they are facing the risk of extinction according to the IUCN classification, with only about 6,600 adult individuals remaining in the wild. These individuals live scattered across 39 small populations, often genetically isolated due to the loss of natural migration corridors. In South Luangwa, where the population of wild dogs is showing signs of recovery thanks to effective conservation policies and a reduction in human-wildlife conflict, their journey for survival still faces many challenges. The threats from diseases such as canine encephalitis and rabies, along with the pressure from agricultural expansion and road construction through forested areas, are gradually shrinking their habitats. On the high rocky ridges to the west, life continues to tell its story in its own way, with a rhythm that is both cautious and resilient. Not loud, not aggressive, but incredibly complex, much like how a troop of Vervet monkeys calmly lives and thrives among the cliffs of the Mushinga region. at an elevation of about 1,400 meters above sea level. The climate here is cooler than in the valley below, with sudden rain showers and surface water sources nearly disappearing during the long dry season. These conditions present a clear challenge, but they also provide an ideal environment to observe the skills and social behaviors of a small primate species in their struggle for survival. Vervet monkeys live in large groups of 20 to 30 individuals, sometimes exceeding 50. It is a micro-society with clearly defined structures of social hierarchy. It is noteworthy that these hierarchies are constructed separately for men and women. Males typically take on a dominant role, but upon reaching maturity, they will leave their birth group to join another one. This behavior not only enhances genetic diversity, but also helps prevent inbreeding. The Vervet monkey has developed a highly rich and diverse society, demonstrating its ability to adapt and survive in a challenging environment. The complex communication system of Vervet monkeys has truly created a vibrant world in nature. They use over 60 different gestures and 36 distinct sounds, each signal serving a clear purpose. From warning about an eagle soaring high above to alerting the group about a leopard or snake on the ground. Each sound is part of a sophisticated social recognition system where each individual can identify one another solely by their voice. When navigating the rugged terrain of the Muchinga escarpment, Vervet monkeys do not solely rely on trees. They are very active during the day, spending most of their time foraging for food on the ground. However, when night falls, the entire group will return to the tall trees, averaging about 25 feet, to rest and stay away from predators. Their diet is remarkably diverse, ranging from leaves, fruits, and flowers to insects, eggs, and even small animals. The flexibility in their diet helps Vervet monkeys adapt to the shortages of natural food sources during the dry season. Although there are no specific figures regarding the Vervet monkey population in South Luangwa National Park, field observations and animal monitoring reports indicate that they maintain a stable presence along the Muchinga escarpment. The lack of heavy tourism activities and reduced human pressure also helps limit habitat fragmentation. This allows these monkey troops to maintain their natural behavior and face less competition from invasive species. As the Vervet monkeys moved swiftly and cautiously beneath the dense canopy of the southern Miambo forest, the calls of the vultures echoed, resembling a symphony of nature. The song of the African flamingo echoes through the green space, like an ancient sound carried by the breeze. With a length of about 58 to 65 centimeters, the vulture has a striking white belly that stands out against its solid black back. Their large grey beak extends forward, topped with a solid structure known as a cusk, which acts as a natural amplifier, allowing their calls to resonate through the layers of the forest canopy. On the slopes of the Muchinga escarpment, where the terrain quickly transitions from low foothills to steep cliffs, vultures are often not alone. They often appear in small groups, sometimes just a pair, and at times gather in flocks of up to 50 individuals, especially during the fruiting season. Imagine the crisp sounds and the flapping of wings among the tall trees, creating a vibrant and colorful symphony of nature that reflects the richness of wildlife in this place. In the lush green forests or community rest stops, the bright, melodic songs of trumpeter birds become essential for maintaining group cohesion, signaling danger and protecting their territory. When the breeding season arrives, the nesting behavior of the trumpeter hornbill becomes particularly unique and distinct from any other bird species in the area. The female trumpeter will seal herself inside a tree cavity with a mixture of clay and vegetation brought by the male, leaving only a narrow slit exposed. Through this narrow passage, the male provides food for the female and the eggs that she is incubating inside. Throughout this process, the young birds remain entirely in the nest until they are fully feathered and ready to emerge. This is an extremely effective survival strategy that protects the young from predators such as snakes, mongooses, and egg-eating birds. Although the trumpeter swan is not considered a top predator, it is certainly an opportunist. Its diet mainly consists of fruit, especially figs, which are a plentiful food source in the Miombo forest. However, it does not hesitate to eat insects, nestlings or eggs if the opportunity arises while foraging for food. In the midst of the serene forest layers of Mashinga cliffs, you may encounter an old trumpeter hornbill, its thick and rugged beak bearing the marks of time. Each call echoed in succession, enhancing the wild beauty of this distant land, where every creature contributes to the harsh and enduring When the call resembling the trumpet of a trumpeter echoed through the foliage, a different silence began to spread. Heavy, tense, and full of determination. Without the need for bright colors or loud sounds, the crowned eagle silently appears, gliding through the dappled light beneath the forest canopy. The African crowned eagle does not have the largest wingspan among African eagle species, but it holds the record for the strongest strike relative to its pre's weight. In the Mumbo forest ecosystem in the south, the crowned eagle plays a role in regulation by controlling the population density of small mammals and birds. It prevents overgrazing by herbivores and creates ecological pressure that keeps prey species alert and responsive.